You mentioned social media a few weeks ago and how you tell the players to ignore it. It seems to be the hive of speculation about everything these days. Obviously they pay attention to it even though you tell them not to. Is it easy for you to avoid what's being said about you, your decisions, the club's decisions?
I've no idea what they're saying about me, and I'm not overly bothered. What, like I said the other week, there's only 3 people that I answer to. We're in a tough spot at the minute, and if we need everybody behind us. You get it wherever you go. I had it at Hull KR. Like I said to the players, it's when you win games, the best thing since sliced bread, and when you lose them, there's always a finger to point. And yeah, that kind of stuff, that's kind of rubbish. Don't bother me. I've just got to get on with my job. The players have got to get on working really hard, and they are working hard to try and get that result.
You're working in an era now where pretty much every decision you make or the club makes above you is scrutinised to the nth degree, especially on recruitment issues. Our recruitment's pretty much done. We've retained the players that we wanted to keep hold of. We've brought in, we've signed some players that haven't been announced yet, and I'm fairly comfortable with the squad that we've got for next year. Again, things that get written in papers and Twitter or whatever, Facebook, I'm not on social media, and we make decisions on what's best for the club. We have regular recruitment meetings with Michael and the rest of the staff, and the players know who's going to be staying, the players know who's going to be leaving, and like I said, we've probably got 5 or 6 bodies that are coming in at the end of the year. It's probably not been the season you wanted it to be, obviously, especially with this run of form. Does that show how far Wakefield have come in the last couple of years? Obviously, you've had this club for long enough to know where it's been over the past 20 years or so. The fact that 2 successful seasons, 1 poorish season now, and everything's up in the air again. Yeah,
there's a lot of mitigating circumstances, isn't there? We've had a horrendous, we lose 2 again this weekend. In Coppy and Mason Caton Brown. It's just been the story. I think ever since that Hull game, we're sitting pretty in 3rd spot. We've won 5 from 6 or whatever it was, and from then on in, it just seems to be injury after injury. So the guys have worked really hard. There's guys there that have played every minute and every single game that need a rest. There's players that haven't been playing particularly well. And because of the situation that we're in, we've not been able to drop anybody, so we just haven't seemed to be playing the same players week in, week out. We're hopeful we can get a couple more bodies back before the end of the year. But yeah, this has probably been the most challenging year. I think 2016 were a tough one, when there's a hell of a lot of pressure there to get in the top 8, and obviously again with the injuries that we had, and players that were playing Buster. I remember Kermo playing in that semi-final on one leg. Should never have played, but that's just the situation that we found ourselves in, and that was a challenging year. But yeah, it does show how far we've come, and people are disappointed, and rightly so. There's some games where we've been really poor. The Catalans game, and a couple of London games there, and the Leeds Rhinos game at home, but I'm fairly confident that we're still in a really good spot, and we can manage these next 6-7 games, and hopefully get something, get quite a fair bit out of it.
Final one a bit lighter. Mason Caton Brown, have you explained to him the free play rule's gone now?
Don't get me started. I'll tell you what, we were very lucky that they ended up getting a knock on, because I was just about to pull him from the field. So yeah, it wasn't nice on the night, and it certainly, thinking about it now, it just brings back some bad memories.